Elevation is not easy at all. It's something that is a process. It's a really a strenuous process in a sense, like when it comes to mentality and all that. But first thing you have to recognize is that you need growth. If you don't know you need growth, then that's what's going to hinder you from even growing as the person you're supposed to be. Like, you have to first understand, why am I the way I am? You know what I'm saying? If you understand why you are the way you are, what influences you had that led to the human you are today. Like, for example, when I was in high school, I used to listen to a lot of rap. It was certain songs that I used to listen to heavy. Certain songs I used to listen to heavy. These songs was like, man, they talking about, having multiple different women. They talking about, smoking, drinking, partying, all that stuff. And then you had another, Heartbreak. There's a couple artists I used to listen to. And when I had cut that music out of my life, this was roughly in 2023, I cut this music out for the most part. Those thoughts that I used to have started to fade because I never had nothing influencing or pouring into those thoughts because I never entertained them. And when I tell you that changed a lot, definitely changed a lot. Then last thing was, what needs to change in my life for me to grow past the point I'm at? What I realized that needed to change for me personally was my mindset. My mindset wasn't at the level it needed to be when it came to the man I wanted to become. Because the way I was thinking was very closed-minded, was very, I was like kind of young and dumb in a way, because when it came down to certain things, like, for example, when it came down to females, I didn't feel like a relationship was even worth it at that point in time, because it's like, I'm just having fun. I'm focused on myself. It was very selfish. I was very selfish, yes. All I thought about was myself, how I felt, what I wanted to do, and things of that nature. Number two would be for me to increase the wisdom that I had. See, I was a smart kid, as a youngin', but I wasn't as smart, because there's always something new to learn. If you don't either learn from somebody who's been through it or go through it yourself, you're not gonna really understand it. And that's one thing that I messed up on as a youngin', because I was like, I never really listened to people that was older than me. Yeah, I would sometimes, but depending on the situation, I feel like I knew best. And that's that. You have to be open-minded and listen to what others have to say, because sometimes it can be very impactful to level you up as, the man or woman you're supposed to be. If people don't understand how far listening goes. If you really listen to people, and you really listen to people talk, it can save you so much time. Because you have a bunch of people that's older than you, you have a bunch of people that been here longer than you, experienced more than you, so why not listen? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. Then another question I asked myself was, how can I elevate my mind to be the best version of myself? One way I did it was, when I was like, I think it was like 19, I was going through whatever I was going through, and my dad always told me, like, hey, read the Bible. So then at this point in time, I'm like, nah, I'm not trying to hear that, because trying to read the Bible and being in high school, that was like, oh my gosh, like, Bible saying do this, but high school, look at doing this. I'm like, but at this point in time, I was out of high school, and he told me to read the Bible, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a chance, because I never was really into the word and none of that, like into the Bible, none of that. And I started reading the Bible. The first book I started was Proverbs, and oh my gosh, that changed my life. Like, my mind never opened so much in a short period of time. It was insane, because the type of wisdom and the type of knowledge that I obtained in that short period of time to then apply to my life was amazing, because when I actually applied these things, it actually came to pass what the Bible was saying. I'm like, yo, like that's crazy, like so then and then ever since then I was like read the Bible, and I was hooked. And then the last and final thing that I would say to really elevate yourself is find your purpose. Now, when I say find your purpose, that means understanding why you're actually here. This is a question I always ask myself, like, why am I here? I'm not here to just go work a job, pay my bills, have kids, and die. Like, that's not life. There's way more to life than that. Like, we should be serving others. We should be helping others do whatever they need to do. And in that same sense, it's a sense of trade, because when you're helping them, they're helping you as well. Like, say, when you go to the store and you go order some food, when you order the food, they made you food. You didn't have to make none of that. But guess what? You paid them, so they made money, and you got food. Even trade, and they're serving you. You feel so much better when you help others. And in a sense, all our purposes, I feel like, I don't know if it's true, but I feel like everybody's purpose has something to do with serving others on some type of level. And when it really comes down to it, understanding why you're here will fulfill you so much more than just getting money. Because getting money is cool. Like, you could, like, what? Getting money is cool. You can fly private, you go on yachts, you know what I'm saying? You go fancy trips, all that good stuff. But are you fulfilled in the inside? That's the question you gotta ask. Because mentally, you could be gone. Mentally dealing with a lot. Thinking about how I'm going to maintain this money. And stressing about all these different things. Are you really at peace? These are the questions you have to ask. And it's like, when you really think about it, if you're not living in your purpose, that's what you should be doing.